Hello everyone, good to see you again. You've made great progress so far and I'm really proud of you. So, without further ado, let's review and check parts 3 and 4. It's pedal to the metal. Part 1, grammar. Everyone, take your time, circle A, B, or C. It's all based on chapters 3 and 4. Easy. I've already taught you. Alright, as always, take your time, stop the video, do it yourself. No help from anyone. This is your gig. Very good. Check your answers with your friends. Put your heads together. It's my turn to help you. Number 1, I walk to work. It's healthier than driving. Number 2, riding a bike isn't as dangerous as people think. Number 3, this is the worst time of the day for traffic jams. Number 4, my wife is much safer driver than me or I. Both of them are correct. You can use both of them. Number 5, what a beautiful day. Number 6, I never drink coffee after dinner. Blank, you don't need to put anything. All right. Number 7, women are usually good language learners. Number 8, we've decided to visit Peru next summer. Number 9, we won't be able to come to the party. Number 10, when he was 5, he could already swim. Number 11, my mother has never been able to cook well. Number 12, entrance is free. You don't have to pay anything. Number 13, I'll have to work harder if I want to pass maybe some exam, right? Number 14, I don't think I should have a dessert. I've already eaten too much. Number 15, the last one, you must not turn on your phone until the plane has landed. It's an obligation. It's the law. It's the rule from outside. Well done. You did great. A very good start. Great. There's no stopping you, you see? It's time for vocabulary exercises. Everybody, this is a big one. We have A, B, C, D, and E. 5 exercises. So, buckle up your seatbelts. The first one, complete with a preposition. Second one, complete the compound nouns. The third one, complete with the right word. You see the first letter is given. All right. Fourth one, circle the right adjective. And the last one, the fifth one, complete the missing words. The first letter is given as a hint. As always, stop the video, take your time, do it yourself. This is your gig. And I know it's gonna take a long time. So I'll wait.
6.5 hours later.
Okay, you're back. Let's do it together. Number 1, we arrived in Vancouver at 5:30. Number 2, I apologize for being late. Number 3, I'm not very interested in horror movies. Number 4, my son is good at speaking languages. Number 5, this song reminds me of my vacation. B, complete the compound nouns. Slow down. The speed limit on this road is 55 miles per hour, not 65. Number 2, I won't start the car until you have all put on your seat belts. Number 3, it's not a good town for bike riders. There are very few bike lanes. Number 4, try to avoid using the subway during rush hour between 8 and 9:30 in the morning. Number 5, there's a taxi stand right next to the train station. All right, very good. Exercise C, complete with the right word. As I told you, the first letter is given to help you. We were late because we got stuck in a terrible traffic jam. Number 2, I'm moving into a new apartment next week. I've rented a van so that I can take all my things there. Number 3, the next train to New Haven is now waiting at platform 5. Number 4, we're going to set off early because we want to get to the hotel before it gets dark. Number 5, how long does it take to get from here to the airport? Well done, you did great. Exercise D. The game ended 0-0. It was really boring. It was the most amazing experience I've ever had. Number 3, we're very excited about our vacation. Number 4, I'm a little disappointed with my exam results. Number 5, this show is too depressing. Turn it off. All right, the last one. Complete the missing words. The first letter is given. I'm not in right now. Please leave a message. Number 2, the line's busy. Please hold. Number 3, I was in the middle of talking to him and he just hung up. Like this. Number 4, I love the screensaver on your phone. Is it a photo of your kids? And the last one, I hate it when people have really loud ringtones on their cell phones. And that's all there is to it for vocabulary exercises. And you never disappoint me. Well done. And now it's time for pronunciation. Everyone, take your time. Circle the word with a different sound. Let's do it together, me and you. Cat, right? So this is the sound, cat, language, want, manners, traffic. So want is different. All right? Computer, the moon, the sun, the beginning, the end. The end. All right. So this one is chess, watch, cheap, machine, each. All right. Next one is should, crash, permission, gossip. This one is different. And this one is like jazz, change, message, argue, apologize. Argue is different. And what about these words? What is the stressed syllable in these ones? Can you tell me? For example, freeway, disappointed, pedestrian, vibrate, embarrassing. All right? Easy, wasn't it? It's easy when your teacher is doing all the hard work, right? Now, everyone, look at the picture. What do you see? It's an orchestra, right? Very good. I need you to read the article once. What kind of concert was it and what happened? Read and answer the 2 questions. This is your gig.
A few moments later.
Okay, let's read it together. Turn it off. Something historic happened at the New York Philharmonic on the evening of January 10th, 2012. About an hour into Mahler's 9th Symphony, during the beautiful 4th movement, an audience member's cell phone loudly rang, and rang, and rang again. It was the kind of marimba riff we've all heard on the street from a stranger's phone. From my seat in row L, I could see the horrified discomfort of other audience members from their body language. We all wondered whether the conductor Alan Gilbert would react and how. Suddenly, there was silence. The orchestra had stopped playing. Mr. Gilbert had halted the performance. He turned to the man who was seated in the front row and said, "Are you going to turn it off? Will you do that?" There was some discussion between the conductor and the cell phone owner, but we couldn't hear it. In the Avery Fisher Hall, many members of the audience stood and demanded that the man leave the hall. They were so furious that I could have imagined them dragging him from his seat onto the stage, tying him to a stake, and setting him alight. When the power off button on the man's phone had finally been located and put to use, Mr. Gilbert turned to the audience. Usually, when there's a disturbance like this, it's best to ignore it, he said. But this time, I could not allow it. The audience applauded as if Mahler himself, the orchestra's conductor from 1909 to 1911, had suddenly been resurrected on stage. Mr. Gilbert neither smiled nor acknowledged the cheers. Instead, he turned to the orchestra, instructing the players to resume, several bars back from the point at which he had stopped the performance. Just before he raised his baton, and turned again to the audience and said, this time with a smile, "We'll start again." A few seconds later, the fourth movement resumed. Mr. Gilbert's brave decision that night brought new music to Philharmonic. All right, very good. Check your answers with your friends. What is your answer? It was a classical concert. Someone's mobile phone rang. You're right. Now, everybody, you're going to read the text again, and I need you to write long answers to these questions. We have 6 questions. As always, again, it's your turn. Let's see what you got.
A few minutes later.
Okay, I guess I don't have to tell you to check with your friends, but if you haven't, do it. Now, the first question, in what part of the symphony did the phone ring? I guess it rang during the 4th movement. It was a marimba riff. Number 2, did the owner turn it off immediately? No. Number 3, how did the audience react? A, to the phone ringing, and B, to what the conductor did. Well, for A, the audience members were horrified. A lot of people stood up. They wanted the man with the phone to leave. And B, they applauded him. Applaud. All right. Number 4, did the audience really drag the man onto the stage? Of course not. Number 5, did Mr. Gilbert restart the music from the same place where he had stopped? No, he started a little before the place where he had stopped the performance. Number 6, does the journalist think Mr. Gilbert made the right decision? Of course, yes. And as always, I need you to choose 5 new words or phrases from the text that you do not know. You can check them in your dictionary or Google for the meaning and pronunciation. And try to teach them to your friends as well. All right, let's move. Now, people on the street. We have Christopher, Maria, Harry, Skylar, and Christina. I need you to watch this video and circle A, B, or C. This is your gig. Let's do it.
How do you get to work?
I take the subway every day. I take 2 trains. I live in Brooklyn. I take a train from Brooklyn to Washington Square, and then I switch to a train that takes me to Midtown Manhattan.
How long does it take?
It takes about 30 to 40 minutes.
What do you think is the best way to get around New York City?
I think subways are an excellent way to get around New York. They serve all 5 boroughs, and they're open 24 hours a day. So they're very convenient, and they don't get stuck in traffic.
Do you think women are better than men with young children, or do you think that's just a stereotype?
I think women they're more natural with young children. They have a natural ability with them. They're better at sort of knowing what they need and perhaps knowing if they need hugs or food or things like that. And perhaps their manner is better with young children. I think men can do it, but perhaps it takes a bit more practice.
Some new research says that men talk just as much as women. Do you think that's true?
Definitely think that's true. I would say that I know men who talk more than women talk. Especially in my family, it's the men who do most of the talking, especially repeating the same story time and time again.
Do you think men and women talk about different things?
Yes, I think they do talk about different things. I think they have different interests, and so they will try and control the conversation to topics that interest them rather than everyone else.
Is there anything you've tried to learn but failed?
I've always wanted to learn to paint very well, but I have never been very good at it, so it's not my thing.
Have you stopped trying?
I still paint for fun, but I'm not very good, so I just do it for leisure activity.
Is there anything that people do with their phones that really annoys you?
Yeah, lots of things, but what really gets to me is when people are interacting with you but they're looking at the phone at the same time, or when you're having dinner, if they keep checking their phone, that bothers me.
Alright, very good. You can rewind and watch these videos as many times as you want. Check your answers with your friends. Let's do it together. Number 1, Christopher likes using the subway because it runs all day and night. 2, Maria thinks that women are better than men at taking care of young children because they know when children are hungry. B. Number 3, Harry says that men in her family try to talk about things that interest them. Number 4, Skylar still paints, but just as a free time activity. And the last one, it annoys Christina when people use their phones when they are having dinner. You did great. And as a bonus clip, everyone, this is a short movie about city bikes. Now, I want you to practice taking notes. Listen carefully, or I'd better say watch the clip carefully, and write the important features, events, names that can help you remember the information. Watch and take notes. Let's do it.
Hi, I'm Ari Finling, and I'm from New York City. I love New York City. I think it's one of the most exciting cities in the world. I enjoy driving, but I almost never drive in the city. For one thing, it's too expensive. And if you do drive in the city, you spend most of your time stuck in traffic, and parking is even more expensive than gas. So I always get around using public transportation. New York City has a great bus network, and the subway system is convenient and definitely the cheapest. But public transportation in New York City is much more expensive than in many other cities. Luckily, since June 2013, there's been a cheaper alternative to the buses, subways, and cars in Manhattan, and it's a healthier alternative too. This is Penn Station, the busiest railway station in New York City. More than 500,000 people travel through this station every day. However, located just several blocks from Penn Station is this, one of the many solar-powered docking stations for nearly 6,000 city bikes, located in hundreds of stations around New York City and Brooklyn. At each of these stations, you can borrow a bike for making short journeys around the city. City bikes are available all day, every day. Each station has a touch screen and a map of the area. City Bikes is privately operated by New York City Bike Share and supported by user fees, sponsorships, and advertising. Citigroup and MasterCard have provided most of the funding for the bike share. You have to pay a small fee to join the scheme, but then you can borrow a bike. The bike sharing scheme has proved popular both with commuters and visitors to the city. Of course, New York City isn't the only city with a bike sharing scheme, and it isn't a new idea. There have been schemes around since the 1960s, but with new technology like GPS, cash cards, and smartphones, local authorities have been able to make the schemes more secure and much easier to use. There are now bike sharing schemes in over 165 cities around the world, with more starting up all the time. Some of the most successful schemes are the Velib in Paris, Dublin Bikes in Dublin, Ireland, Boris Bikes in London, Bising in Barcelona, and Bixi in Montreal, Canada. But the biggest scheme is in Hangzhou, China, which has more than 60,000 bicycles. Unfortunately, despite the enthusiasm for city bikes, New York City still isn't the most bike-friendly city. There are some bike lanes, but often bikes, cars, and buses have to share the roads, and this can be dangerous. So there are a few things everyone can do to make their bike trips safer. Whether you're on a city bike or your own bike. First, you have to obey the rules of the road. You must not ride a bike on the sidewalk, and you must not ride a bike through red lights. You should wear a helmet and bright clothes. You must be at least 16 or older to ride a city bike. You really shouldn't use your phone or wear headphones while cycling. You must be able to see and hear what's going on around you. But if you're careful, a bike is the best way to see New York City, and being able to borrow one for a small fee makes it even better.
All right, very good. Now that you have taken notes, I need you to compare your notes with your friends. And that's all there is to it for today. And we successfully reviewed chapters 3 and 4. As always, if you have a question, you can comment down below and I will get back to you. And if you like my work, if you think that I'm adding value to your life, to your education, and to your purpose, make sure to like and subscribe. Until then, my friends, be seeing you. Bye-bye.